we have the real digital game, digital party.
Great fellows, but for them, it was all their first experience of interacting with the physical world. I think they have done a great job in their role as a guide to the world digital sports.
Totally agree. I think it's high time to invite our heroes of the challenges. Wish something to the spectators of the games of the future. Always stay committed to achieving a victory. Develop your super skills. Always be a step ahead. Create a future together with the new technologies. Don't forget and keep up training. See you at the next Games of the Future.
We joined our challenges heroes. Do not stop. Develop yourself and conquer new heights.
And then everything impossible will become possible. Moreover, the Games of the Future prove that everything is possible.
Yes, we've been watching the closing ceremony of the very first Games of the Future, getting everybody in party mood at the end there, Alexei, and I can see why, because they've been a raving success, haven't they, overall?
Fair enough, yeah, of course. The dog showing the heart sign at the end. Honestly, this has been a very interesting experience, not only just from the actual sporting perspective and, you know, trying to figure out how this all works, and some of the disciplines were quite tricky and quite maybe puzzling of sorts, but the atmosphere, the real emotions, and again, you know, people from all over the world coming to Kazan and enjoying the snow, Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been here for a long time. We don't enjoy the snow anymore. And, you know, people like from Cameroon or from anywhere else.
It did seem to have that Olympic feel, didn't it? Everybody coming together, different venues, different sports, different cultures, personalities, nationalities.
It is like the Olympics of the future.
Olympics of the future too, and just looking at how successful it's been, people try and gauge this with numbers. So if you look at some numbers, 2.3 billion people have tuned in to watch. I find that incredible.
Oh wow!
I mean, I think you're talking reposts and people looking at footage, but overall, people looking at footage from the games, 2.3 billion, which is incredible, isn't it?
Which is almost a quarter of the planet's population.
I know. I was staggered when I learned that. And then also, if you look at the arenas, they've been packed. 100,000 people went through the gates in Kazan.
Wow, incredible.
And this is the very first, and we have to say that it's revolutionary. Personally, I wasn't sure, like yourself, whether it was going to work, perhaps like the athletes. You know, what, we play on the PlayStation first, and then we go into the octagon. I mean...
Whether it would be watchable in the first place.
Absolutely.
And it was absolutely watchable.
Whether you could actually successfully fuse this digital and the physical, and I think they have. But we're looking at more footage now of the closing ceremony, a different tone to the opening ceremony, very much, as I said, a party mood.
I was just about to say, it felt more like a party or concert rather than, you know, showing off the high tech and the lights and everything else.
Yeah.
But then again, look, even the attendees were not as high profile as last time, because during the opening ceremony, 5 heads of state were there. Obviously, tightened security and lots of this glamour, should I say. This did feel, you know, like a party at home.
Well, a fitting end, I think, to 2 weeks of competition. Well, let's get more now from Dan Hawkins. He's in Kazan for us, and he was across the closing ceremony too, as well as across many disciplines over the last 2 weeks. Dan, how would you sum up these games?
Well, guys, as Alexa just said there, the Olympics of the future, right? It's been absolutely amazing to be a little part of history here and of the future at the same time. I think these games have been striking as something so international. Hundreds of athletes are represented from dozens of countries. Many of these, their first time in Russia, certainly their first time in Kazan. I think in terms of their aims, building these bridges across physical boundaries, across digital boundaries, has worked amazingly and has really helped to get that cross-section. People who otherwise may not have been into esports, I have to say I'm one of them. I wasn't a massive gaming fan before this. That's beginning to change after these games, I have to say. Those people who perhaps were into gaming but not so much into sports are now going to be getting into their hockey gear, getting into their MMA gloves, getting their footballs and basketballs and taking to the sports pitches. That's exactly what the aim of these games was, right? To increase that collaboration, to create that synthesis between the virtual and the physical. And this has been an incredible experience for so many sports teams, as I say, from across the world. And actually, we've managed to catch a guest here who was in the closing ceremony. We spoke to him before at one of the football games. Franklin, if I can get your take on it, Franklin Fonderson, who's the manager of the Cameroon football team, you were in that closing ceremony, a massive party there. What are these games meant for you, Franklin? You've been to Russia a few times. This experience probably quite different.
Wow, I mean, this has been nothing we've seen before. It's been wonderful. It's been so emotional. I mean, we came here with an expectation to have fun and just see something wow, but it was beyond wow because, I mean, the technology, the level of the organization, the level of the hospitality, the level of, I mean, the vibe, the energy from the Kazan people, it was just wow. We are so grateful. We're going to take back beautiful memories. We're going to take back, most importantly, the fact that we have to work harder because we saw tough teams who are way better prepared, and it has inspired us to go and come back stronger next time and to even perform better. So it's been very emotional, very positive energy. Everything has just been wow. I mean, I feel sad to go back. I wish I could stay for long.
Yeah, me too, I have to say. And these games have got hundreds of millions of people tuning in from across the world, right? Those who couldn't be with us in Kazan were here in spirit, digitally, right? Do you think these games are going to be a real trendsetter? Because this has been a really revolutionary format, right, for athletes of all disciplines. Do you think this is the Olympics of the future, as my colleagues in Moscow were saying?
Well, I don't even think that we could still call it games of the future. This is games of now because we're already living the future in the present. And I think that it's going to have its own grounds and it's going to occupy its own bigger space. But we need to work more on the communication and the content development. We need to open up more media channels for the rest of the world to understand. And it's not just about the games. We have to, first of all, educate people to understand what phygital means. Because it's a concept that will take a while for a lot of back-enders to be able to understand. First of all, people are finding it difficult just to understand digital, I mean, technology, gaming on its own. Then when you fuse it together, it becomes way more complex. So I think there's a lot more work to be done in terms of communication, in terms of selling the project, the idea to the rest of the world, to the ends of the world. And like I said, we need to open up more media channels. We need to build more content around this project to make it worldwide. And when that is done, trust me, there will be no other discipline or no other tournament that will live up to the hype of the Phygital Games of the future, my opinion.
And just briefly, how important and effective has this event been at uniting people across borders from all continents, from so many different countries, uniting together for a common passion for sport and esport?
Well, I mean, if you look around yourself, you see the energy, you see the way people are interacting. I mean, a lot of people walk up to me, let's take pictures. They ask me where I'm from, they want to know my name, they want to be my friends, and this is the cultural exchange that is happening here, and it's so wonderful, and these are the kind of things we need to bring this global village of a world at one place. And it's been a brilliant way for cultural exchange, it's been a brilliant way for humanitarian activities, and all of it is just coming together. I mean, we've had the opportunity to taste the food of Russia, everybody's talking about the chak-chak, and a lot of other stuff that has been going on here, which we've tasted for the first time. Some people are wild about the different kinds and flavors of vodka they have drunk. And it's just all about exchange and cultural diversity all coming together in one place. It's just been wonderful. It's just been wonderful.
Franklin, thanks for coming to Russia once again. Good luck for your trip home and see you at the next Phygital Games.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Franklin.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. As I was speaking to you there, I heard two chants in the background, a group of people chanting "Spasibo." Spasibo means thank you in Russian. And another group of footballers, I believe that's Peñarol actually, just in the background behind me, singing their victory song, having become champions of the inaugural games. For me, I have to say, it's been an absolute journey, an absolute experience, because I came here with a background in news, with a background in football perhaps, but I really didn't know about a lot of these sports before, the physical stuff, let alone digital stuff. And I've had a chance to test firsthand so many new disciplines. I haven't been particularly good. A lot of the stuff I've tried, but whether it's been on the basketball court, shooting the hoops, getting in goal with the Arab team, having a training session with them, getting thrown around on the mat in the dojo by the MMA fighters. They were just so happy to talk to us, to show us their skills. Meeting the Chinese team. In fact, if we can pan the camera just this way, I think this goes to show the atmosphere, right, at the games. Two teams here, surrounded by the viewers, by the guests, cheering each other on, exchanging photos, handshakes, signatures. This is what has epitomized the games of the future, a fantastic atmosphere here today. And for me, as I say, this has been just a fantastic experience, something I'll definitely take back and tell the kids and the grandkids one day. Truly, as Franklin there said, the games of the future are no longer the games of the future. The games of the future are the games of now. And I'll have to go now, I guess, because there's a party beginning just behind me. So with that in mind, over to you guys back in Moscow.
Dan, I got to tell you, you've done a fantastic job over these last 2 weeks. I'm sure you will enjoy the party. And if you catch Mr. Fondas and my other friend there once again, please do tell him that his hat is absolutely out of this world. Thanks a lot, buddy. That was a great job. And I'm waiting for you back in Moscow to give you some free throw training in basketball, by the way, if you remember.
I'll tell you what, he'd give you a good go at Dota. He was good at Dota, remember?
Yeah.
He's being harsh on himself.
Great job,
yeah. Work on Dota, Dan. That could be your next career. Great scenes. The boys from Peñarol, the footballers, they're going to be partying long into the night, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you saw it yourself.
Yeah,
it's
people don't want to go
and
home, do they? Where's the bar? That's what they're asking, I'm sure.
There will be plenty of opportunities for that in Kazan, for sure.
Yeah, OK. Well, look, we've got another correspondent there who's been soaking up the atmosphere too. Uma, I think she was at the closing ceremony. Uma, how are you doing? How did you find the finale of 2 weeks of competition?
I think they couldn't have finished it any better than this. That was a huge concert. The atmosphere really is amazing. People everywhere. Everyone's happy. Everyone left the concert hall like just happy and smiling and talking to one another. The atmosphere here is just amazing, and it was such a great way to end it as well. On top of that, I think I personally learned a lot during these past few days here in Kazan, in this event. I'm really happy I got to be here. I met so many great people as well. So overall, amazing closing ceremony, I would say.
And what was your highlight, Uma, out of everything that you saw? Because we saw you do dancing, you were talking to all sorts of sports people, from skateboarding to drones. I mean, what was your highlight?
Okay, my highlight personally was, I would say, two things: football and dancing. One, football, because it genuinely felt like you're in the World Cup. I mean, when we were watching the games inside the venues, the atmosphere was just, you're at the World Cup here. There's like a nationality versus another nation. It felt exactly that way. And then dancing, because I love dancing, and it was something that I find to be overlooked usually when it comes to sports. So it was really great and surprising to me that they added that here, and I'm really glad that they did, because I got to check it out. I got to check also skiing, my first time skiing ever. It was on a simulator here at the Games of the Future. Of course, for me, two highlights: football, dancing. Skateboarding was nice as well, especially because I tried skateboarding before, but seeing it on a professional level was something completely different. But everything was really just great. It's such an amazing idea.
Uma, you've taken a bunch of interviews during these couple of weeks. Any particular interview that stands out? Any particular athlete that you will remember for speaking to you?
I think I would say the athlete from the Latino gang for skateboarding. I think his name was Marcelo. He was really the confidence was there. He was not afraid. I mean, he knew that they were going to get to the final. So that one, I also one other interview, which was not from an athlete, but from a guest in the event. And it turns out that the guest was Moroccan. So another, compatriot that I met here. That was really exciting. I was not expecting that. So overall, I really enjoyed my time a lot here. And for me, as a foreigner here in Russia, it was amazing seeing so many international people just coming together and, having a common language, which is now, in this case, it's sports, and mixing digital and physical. Like, everyone was just very, very excited about the whole tournament, met so many great people. Everyone was just friendly, and I'm really, really happy that I got to do this and be here, honestly.
Well, Uma, look, it looks like there's going to be a big party in Kazan, so we won't keep you any longer. Go and enjoy it, have some time off. That was Uma in Kazan for us. She was at the closing ceremony and, of course, at many events across the last couple of weeks too. It's sad, it's ending, isn't it, really?
It's always sad when a good major international sporting event is coming to an end. But listen, I think we've enjoyed it throughout these last couple of weeks. I think we tried to bring the best of it to our viewers and give our expertise. I hope you guys enjoyed watching us for these last 2 weeks. Me, you, and Yunan as well.
Absolutely.
So overall, I'm really happy.
It's been
sad and happy at the same time.
It's been an education. Look, the organisers say this is going to be an annual event, so I think it's fair to say that Phygital Sport is here to stay. We're not quite sure on the exact date of the next one, but who knows? Maybe we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.